Hey guys, this is Venel coming at you guys late at night actually for a StarCraft audio commentary, short of spur of the moment here. I'm continuing with the Winners League matchup between CJ Entus and SKT1. We've seen a lot of really exciting play. Last game particularly saw Visu being defeated by none other than Iris, a Terran player for CJ Entus. Now we're going to be seeing Iris facing up against Hyuk. I'm not sure what map this is going to be on. I don't really think it's going to matter either, because Hyuk is not a very good player. In fact, Hyuk is very well known for making tremendous mistakes in a number of matchups, and Iris is just a solid all-around player, so I have to favor him. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. It actually looks like this game is going to be played on Rush Hour 3, which is kind of a weird map. We haven't seen a lot of Rush Hour very recently, and that's because it's an older map. This was played more often back in the earlier days of Pro League. It's kind of an interesting asymmetrical map, and to be honest with you, I'm not that familiar with it. In terms of expansion locations or things of that nature. So it'll be kind of a learning experience for both of us, I guess. I mean, I have seen games played on it before, just not a whole ton of them. Again, it used to be played a lot more in the past than it is now. It looks like Iris is going to be the white Terran at the 11 o'clock position, whereas Hyuk is going to be the Teal Zerg at the 3 o'clock position. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in this game. I think we're going to be seeing a mech build from Iris because that's just what Terran players have been doing lately against Zerg. They've been going for factory builds, which are kind of double-edged swords in a lot of ways strategically, and we'll talk about that if the game progresses into that sort of gameplay. But for now, we'll just say that they're pretty interesting. It looks like Iris is scouting to the south. He is going to be scouting in the wrong direction, whereas it looks like Hyuk is going to find Iris on the first go with his Overlord. The thing about the reason I favor Iris this game is because Hyuk is a pretty bad player. Actually, he's not very good at all. It looks like Iris is going for a 12-hatch build, so he's looking to pick up an early economic advantage against Iris. We'll have to see what Iris decides to go for. And it doesn't look like we're seeing a refinery going up from Iris, so we may be seeing a medic marine build from him after all, SK Terran or some sort of variation of SK Terran. And to be honest with you, the mech builds are certainly interesting. Factory units are certainly very powerful, those siege tanks and so forth against the Zerg player. But there's a reason medic marine has been so successful for so long against Zerg players, and it's because of the mobility afforded the Terran player with medic marines versus the Zerg forces, because Zerg units in general are just so fast and mobile, and factory units really aren't that fast or mobile, and it's kind of a problem. And it looks like, oh, Iris is actually going for a quick expansion, going for a 14 command center, it looks like, and that's interesting. I'm not sure if that's an artifact of this map in particular, or if both players have just decided to go unorthodox quick economy builds. If anyone can correct me or call me on that in the comments for this video when it's posted on YouTube, I'd be very appreciative of that. I'm not sure if Rush Hour 3 favors economy builds or what the deal is here. As I said, I'm woefully unfamiliar with this map. We probably are going to be seeing Medic Marine from Iris, and I like Medic Marine against a Zerg player. I think it's the smarter strategic choice, and it looks like Hyuk is already teching to Lair, and so we're going to be seeing Lair units fairly quickly from him. It looks like Iris is actually putting up a bunker already. Yeah, I think that's smart of him because he has that 14 command center up, and he's going to be behind economically for a little bit, this little window of opportunity. It doesn't look like Hyuk is going to pick up on it, though, and that doesn't really surprise me. Hyuk is not a very... He doesn't have very good game sense. He's just not a very good player in general, and which is unusual because SKT1 has traditionally been a team of a lot of great players. and we'll have to see what happens. But if I had to call the game now, I'd give it to Iris, simply because Iris has been in high places in the past, and he defeated Bisu last game, and Bisu is a really good player. Hyuk is sending down his Spire now, so we are going to be seeing the Mutalisks from him. We're going to be seeing at least an attempt at a Mutalisk harass. But I have a feeling Iris is going to expect it's coming. He's probably going to be prepared for it. And although I don't see an engineering bay going down from him, so we'll have to see what happens. It may be a bit early for that engineering bay. It looks like Hyuk is making to set down a third expansion in the lower portion of the map. I'm not sure what you would call that on Rush Hour 3. It looks like Hyuk is actually moving some Zerglings in to just sort of test out Iris's defenses. Iris does have that bunker down there. Those Marines in the bunker are going to ward those Zerglings away. There's the engineering bay going down for Iris. Iris properly anticipating the Mutalisk harass. He's going to have turrets down in time, most likely to deal with them. It looks like he has an academy down as well and putting down dual comsat stations, which are essential for the Terran player for both detecting burrowed units and for scouting your opponent. Iris has gone for the Medic Marine build, so it's only going to be a matter of time before we see science vessels from him. That's when things really start to get interesting, because Hyuk is going to... It looks like Hyuk is actually managing to get some Zerglings back into Iris's SCV line, harassing those SCVs a bit, not able to take any of them out. It looks like Iris has scanned Hyuk's natural expansion. He's going to see that Spire is down. He's going to see that his tech choice to go for the engineering bay was in fact the proper one. Iris is now setting down those preliminary missile turrets. They are going to be up in time. We'll have to see, and it'll come down to how good Hyuk's Mutalisk Micro is. The mid-game is going to come down to Hyuk's Mutalisk Micro and Iris's turret placement, and if he puts them in the right spot, and it looks like he is going to have those turrets up before those Mutalisks arrive in time. And we'll have to see what happens. Iris is going to need his Medic Marines additionally, in addition to those turrets, in order to ward off the Mutalisks. And I don't feel that this harass is going to be successful. We'll have to see what happens, but I don't feel it's going to be successful. It looks like the Medic Marines do catch the Mutalisks out in the open. Iris knows these Mutalisks are coming. I don't feel this is going to be very successful, because Hyuk just has relatively poor Mutalisk Micro, poor Mutalisk control compared to a lot of Zerg players. It looks like he is attacking that engineering bay. That's really not what he needs to be doing. He needs to be either going for those Medic Marines or the SCVs or the missile turrets. It looks like he did get maybe a Marine or two, but overall fairly insignificant damage from Hyuk thus far, and Hyuk really needs to make this Mutalisk harass count, because if he doesn't, he's going to find himself placed significantly behind Iris in the mid-game.